Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Dani, aka the Grow Girl. Welcome here if you are new, or thanks for coming back to see me. In today's video, I am going to be planting carrots, showing you the process and giving you some tips and tricks on how to grow carrots in your winter garden. As always, if you like this video, give me a big thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'd love to have you here every week with me. And don't forget to check me out on Instagram at the Grow Girl Texas. All right, y'all, so let's get started. So actually the first thing that I need to do is rip up all my bush beans. This bed is where all the carrots are gonna grow. And if you remember, bush beans and other legumes, they may add some nitrogen back to the soil. And this is really good for some crops, but not for carrots. Carrots do not like a lot of extra nitrogen. If they get too much nitrogen, they'll have these really pretty bushy green tops and barely any root underneath. So what I'm actually gonna do upon planting, which I'll show you guys here in a minute, is once I get my seeds in, I'm gonna fertilize them with a little bit of extra potassium and phosphorus, and then I'm gonna do it again in about 5 to 6 weeks, just to combat if there's any extra nitrogen in the soil. Okay, so now that I got all the beans ripped up, I'm just gonna take my rake and just kind of loosen up all the dirt, and then I'm gonna kind of pick out all the debris, if there's any rocks left in here, some, pine needles that have floated in from the trees behind our property, and just get everything nice and smoothed out and ready to plant. Okay, so now that the bed is all ready to go, I am actually going to draw out my square feet. I plant everything at this time via the square foot gardening method, which is a really helpful method to make sure things have enough space to grow. I'll link it below. And for carrots, you want to plant anywhere from 9 to 16 seeds in each square foot. So I am going to draw out my lines. I don't get out a measuring stick and measure it accurately. I kind of estimate, but this has worked fine for me so far. This bed is a 4x3, so it's going to make a total of 12 square feet. Okay, so next up I am ready to drop my seeds in. You can see where I have pieced out all the square feet, and then I have already gone ahead and made little holes to put seeds in. You want to plant carrot seeds a little more on the shallow side, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep, and I'm just going to drop several seeds in each hole just to make sure I get at least one that germinates. Once they start to sprout up, you can thin them out, but this way I'll make sure that I don't miss out on anything. Just a few other tips once you've got your carrots planted. You want to make sure that they have consistently moist soil, especially in the first several weeks that they are growing and they are going to germinate. I usually plant mine in October because it's on the cooler weather side. They're gonna grow best in about 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, so whatever that temperature is for you, whether it's earlier in the fall or later. And they're gonna take about 55 days until they're ready to harvest. Once you feel like they're getting to the point where they're ready, you can use a spade to kind of dig down and see how they're looking and how deep they are, and just pull them right out. Okay, so last step, now that I got all the seeds in, I am going to water them in. Water is very key, especially for the first several weeks that the seeds are trying to germinate. They're very delicate. You don't want the soil to crust over or they will not be able to break through. So you want to keep the soil consistently moist. And as I mentioned before, I am actually going to water in a higher phosphorus and potassium fertilizer upon planting. And I'm going to do it again in about 5 to 6 weeks.